All right, all right. Hey y'all, it's Bree Lane. Um, Welcome to the C.O.F.A.T blog. C.O.F.A.T means come out from among them, per the Bible verse. So this week is going to be a pretty hard topic to talk about. It's not a hard topic, it's just what I'm going to talk about in regards to the topic. So it's going to be about sororities and fraternities. I don't want anybody to get upset. I just want those who have an ear to hear to listen, soak it in, pray about it, and then, take it to God and see what He says about it. Um, so let's just go ahead and get into it. I don't want to delay any further. Hey, y'all, happy Tuesday. I hope y'all getting your workout in. It's almost time to get off work. So let's go ahead and get into this. All right. Let me share my screen with you guys. So we're gonna first. I want to show you guys a clip, real quick, of what Tiffany has to say. You guys know me. Y'all know I love Tiffany because she has a lot to say and she's a wonderful prophet. Hold on, y'all. Let me close my door. Hold on a second. My dog likes to come in here. Can y'all hear me? I hope y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me better now? I get my mic ready. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So let me go ahead and share my screen. And if you come on to say hello, don't be shy. Let me go ahead and present. Okay. Can y'all see this? Looks kind of funky. I don't know why. Oh, that's why. Okay, there we go. All right, let's go on.
Stage. I have to ask this question here because you made a powerful statement. You mentioned there's these other things that's popping off. I think you threw out Freemasonry, you threw out sororities, you threw out fraternities. It's very look. You talking to 4,000 black folks, and one thing we do is I'm gonna start with the sororities and fraternities. We respect our sororities and our fraternities.
Yeah, you'll
Matter of
fight for
fact,
them more than you fight for God. I
so,
see it all the
some of
time.
our greats even came out
Well,
of.
you consider them greats, but
I would say, I mean,
That's
we in
true.
Atlanta, right? MLK, he's all over the place. Brother came out of a fraternity, right? What do you think about that? I mean, and what does that even mean to be a part of one of these organizations?
yeah. So again, when we go back to the conversation of covenants, and this is what I want everybody to do. Obviously, people who are in these organizations, even if they identify themselves as Christians, have made the organizations an idol. That is become idolatry. The reason you say that is because the Bible tells us in the book of Deuteronomy, you shall not serve any other God. You shall not make oaths, pronouncements, or vows to any other God. And if you do that, here's the list of curses that's going to come upon you. Now, many people will argue with me and say, Tiffany, curses don't exist anymore in the new covenant because according to Galatians 3:13, he redeemed us from the curse of the law. But if that's the case, in the book of Deuteronomy, he talks about the curse of inflammation. How many people deal with inflammation?
Oh my goodness,
Mm-hmm.
many.
Many. He talks about the curse of hemorrhoids, which we think are hemorrhoids, but they're actually tumors that are
Wow,
incurable, cancer, right?
wow.
So here you have a generation of people who are arguing with you saying there's curses don't exist. But in the old covenant, he says inflammation, tumors that can't be cured, and a host of other things that we still would deal with today. On top of the fact that curses is still used even in the new covenant. The word curse is even still used in the new covenant. With that being said, um, what was your question again? I was getting somewhere. Tell me.
Going to the sororities and the
Okay, thank you.
fraternities.
Because I want them to hear me, right? I can say something that'll piss everybody off. And
All right, hold on,
Listen,
y'all.
if you're a woman, then you really should know some sort of self defense. And right now, the US concealed
with you saying there's curses don't exist, but in the old covenant, he says inflammation, tumors that can't be cured, and a host of other things that we still would deal with today. On top of the fact that curses is still used even in the new covenant. The word curse is even still used in the new covenant. With that being said, um, what was your question again? I was getting somewhere. Tell me.
Going to the sororities and the
Okay, thank you.
fraternities.
Because I want them to hear me, right? I can say something that'll piss everybody off.
I'm the
And
same
that's
way.
not my goal
Right.
inherently, because then you can't hear me anymore.
Right.
With that being said, most I would say everybody that's in a sorority and a fraternity has made that their idol. It is made that their comfort. It's made that their open door. It's made that what they rely on. It's what they use as a crutch. God is out of the picture, even if they identify as a Christian. Now, the goal I want everybody to do, since most people joined the fraternity or sorority 20, 10, 15 years ago, right? I want you to go back to the declaration you made. I want you to go back to the oath, the vow, and the pronouncements that you made when you got there. I want you to open up the Bible and I want you to read them side by side. And I want you and your Holy Ghost you say you have, the Spirit of truth, to judge and say honestly, the pronouncements I made with this organization should have only been made to God. And only if you have the Spirit of truth and not the spirit of error or the spirit of offense, because you're not offended with me, you're offended with God, that you will say, I am not only going to denounce this sorority in prayer. Let heaven and earth record this day. I denounce my affiliation with this sorority and fraternity and this Freemason Association and Eastern Star Association, but I'm also going to write a letter of denouncement. Well, fortunately, there's a generation of people who have been coming out of these organizations of believers, young believers, older believers. After they do what I said, they write out, they pull out what they vowed 20 years ago. They pull out the Bible and say, oh my gosh, I made a vow to an organization that I should have only made to God, right? They've been coming out. Well, recently the organizations have started to say, you can denounce, but you have to agree to these rules. You have to agree to never talk bad about us. You have to agree to never say what your process was in getting here. Right now, they're trying to put this requirement for you they're trying to make it very hard for you to denounce. And I don't think that God wants you a part of any organization that's going to make it very hard for you to denounce. That's not God, right? That's not the nature of God. Also, I was fair to say 99.999% of y'all got jumped in like a dummy.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
I know.
Let's just be true. Yeah.
I got hazed up.
Dumb.
No comment.
It's dumb.
Damn. I wouldn't haze. So, and
I'm just
I
saying,
actually speak about that. Actually,
yeah, we're going to call that thing a thing. It's dumb. And to think that that's God.
It is.
That's what I'm going at. You identify as a believer. I'm not saying you do, but I'm just going with the hazing part of it. And you want me to believe that your God, my God, Elohim, said that you should get hazed to be into this organization that you made an oath, a vow, and a pronouncement that only should have been made to God. And you want me to believe that this is God. It's not. God would never do that to you. God would never get you jumped in. Right. God would never. I've heard the hazing stories, both on the men and women's side. It's not God.
Nope.
And now they're trying to make it impossible for you to get out of it. That's not God. I'm gonna show you. The devil does that, but God doesn't do that because I'm a fruit inspector. So you can't tell me, I don't care how much they do for the community. Well, we give a lot to the community. We give a lot to the poor. So do drug dealers. Frank Lucas did it.
Come on now.
Oh, what drug dealer don't give away turkeys on Thanksgiving? What drug dealers don't give away toys and stuff on Thanksgiving? They do it all the time. That's why the neighborhood the community loves them, right? That doesn't matter. Your giving doesn't matter. Who cares that you are trying to cover up the oath and the vow and the covenant you broke to God up with a few turkeys? You are a turkey.
Hold on, y'all. We got some people back.
All right, guys. So that was a lot said. If you missed it, the recording will play back. You can play back the recording when I'm done. I'm only going to be on here for probably about 10, 15 minutes. However, I am, when Tiffany was talking about the sororities are trying to make it hard for us to get out. So just to kind of backtrack a little bit, I just finished wrapping up my denouncement. It took 6 months. I am not excited that I denounced, but it was something that God showed me more than 3 times because I kept asking. I heard him twice. I actually, because in the Bible it says, I think it says something about you're gonna get 2 confirmations, 2 to 3 confirmations. I had to ask for 4 because I didn't want to believe it. Because I do so many good things. I go to so many events. I have, give up so much money in terms of just trying to, sponsor someone. So I actually denounced officially, I believe it was last week. So this year would be my 7th year of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. However, since I denounced it, I am no longer affiliated with Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Please don't invite me to any events. Don't invite me to any Greek functions. I just don't associate myself with the Divine Nine anymore. I still love the people that's in it. My relationship with my friends has not changed. I still love all of my sisters that I met when I joined. I still will hang out with them. I still will do the same. It's the same thing. I'm not going to treat anybody different that's in a sorority or fraternity. With that being said, I want to show you guys what Tiffany was just saying earlier. She was saying how it's hard to get out. So I actually am going to show y'all why it's so hard to get out. I'm going to share my screen. Give me 1 second. Let me stop my screen. Hey, y'all. Whoever joined in, please say hi. I want to see who joined. Give a hello, a shout, a wave. It's rude not to say hi. All right, so let me share my screen really quick. Let me add this to the stage. I want to show you, hopefully you guys can see this. So on my, I don't know how you guys are looking at this, but on my left, let me see if I can take myself out of the picture. Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me. So on October 2023 is when I basically, sent an email saying I sent in all my stuff. I got everything notarized. Everything was fine, right? I want you guys to pay close attention to where it says check all that apply right here. So on the left side, it says, I acknowledge that I have forwarded all sorority items in my possession to Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated headquarters. I acknowledge that all sorority items in my possession have been given to the member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Now, after I filled this out here, I sent in everything. I sent in my email. I mean, everything was sent. Everything was done. I'm waiting. I'm thinking it's going to be, maybe end of November, which is supposed to be on my letter. It says it will be about 30, give about 30 or so days or less for everything to be finalized. Well, that wasn't the case. November rolled around, December rolled around. I inquired. I said, hey, I'm just checking on, following up. They said, oh, well, we're still processing. Okay, so then January rolled around. I said, okay, so, it's January. It's a new year. Maybe, they're backlogged or whatever. So if you guys look on my right side, it says right here. So on February, let me see, when was it? In March, they so kindly sent me a letter saying, oh, I'm sorry, you're going to redo everything all over again. We revised our form. So this is why it's so hard to get out. Notice what they are doing. It says the same thing on the first part, right? I acknowledge that I have forwarded on my stuff. Yep, I did that. I acknowledge that all the sorted items in my possession have been given to a member. Yep, that says that on the left-hand side. But now they've added a third part. It says, by signing this form, I agree that I will not disclose any confidential information or any other detrimental information regarding Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, including all information regarding my renouncement. For the purposes of this policy, examples of confidential information include, but is not limited to, information related to ceremonies and rituals, financial records, or any other proprietary information. Failure to comply with this provision may result in legal action. So that's why it's so hard. They're making it harder to leave because they don't want you to talk about anything that's going on in the sorority. I don't believe anything should be a secret. I mean, if you're going to join something, join it, whatever. I mean, I don't think I need to talk about any financial information anyway. It's not my place to talk about their financial information, but they've made it so hard for me to leave. I went from October to literally, I got an email about maybe 2 weeks ago saying everything has been finalized. You've been pulled out of all the groups, blah, 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 blah. It took, what was that, 6 months? Somebody count. October, November, December, January, February, March, April, 6 months, right? It took 6 months to actually formally get out. And again, like I said before, those who are just now tuning in, I loved everything about Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, but once I found out the origins of where it came from, and when I spoke to a 33-degree Mason who was heavy into Masonry and told me exactly where our D9, which means Divine Nine, where our sororities and fraternities stem from, that was basically my fourth or fifth confirmation, which allowed me to get out. I heard from God about 4 or 5 times, and he personally, I hear from God now. Like I hear him audibly, just like I have my friend next to me who's talking to me. I can literally hear him talking to me in my spirit. So he told me I didn't want to believe it at first. I didn't want to believe it the second time. I was in church and I heard it. The pastor was talking about it. I was like, okay, well, whatever. So I took it in, but I dismissed it. I heard it again on YouTube. I wasn't even searching for it. I think another pastor was talking about it. I'm like, okay, well, this is the second time I'm hearing about it, and I wasn't even searching for it. Okay, third time I heard from it was, I believe it was somebody randomly, was it on Facebook, hit me up and started talking to me about it. I'm like, why is all these things coming to me at once? I'm not even trying to inquire to get out. The Lord spoke to me through my heart, and He was like, you need to get out of that. And I sat on it for a long time. Y'all had my shirts, I had my jacket. Y'all know the paraphernalia. Like, I love all the blue, and my favorite color is blue. So, I was holding on to it, but it was very important. My relationship with Christ is more important than the D9. So then ZPB, I should say. So, yeah, I denounced it, and I told my line sisters about it. And when I did that, it was just quiet. Nobody said anything. Nobody said, hey, we're still your friend. We're still with you. We can still hang out. Nothing. When you get out, it's like you never even had any sisters before. I mean, it's like you never even met them before. They don't know you. They don't know, they pull you out of the groups and nobody says anything. So yes, following Christ is hard, is challenging, but it's very rewarding in terms of peace and in terms of the benefits that you do get behind the scenes. He does bless me with a lot that I'm not talking about, but it is a hard topic to talk about. So yeah, I just wanted to share that real quick. I wanted to show you guys side by side what they're doing now. They're basically silencing. They're basically putting their hand over our mouth saying we cannot talk about nothing. And I do not care, because if God told me to share this with whoever is willing to listen, whoever has, ears to hear, then I'm going to share it. I'm not going to share any financial information, but I'm going to share what needs to be shared that's already been shared on YouTube. So that's all I wanted to say, y'all. Again, this is your girl, Bria Lane. Visit my YouTube video at C.O.F.A.T, Come Out From Among Us, C.O.F.A.T. I'm going to drop about 3 or 4 more videos to follow. It's so good. I'm talking about where the origins come from, the origins for these sororities and fraternities, down to like a T, from the shields, the images you see on the shields from the very first fraternity that came out before any of these sororities and fraternities came about. So I have evidence and I have research, all those things. That's going to be in my second video. I'm going to make that, let's say Tuesday. I'm going to make that later on tonight. We're going to go over the origins. And then we'll go over each sorority's shield probably Wednesday. So yeah, it's gonna be quite hard for some people. They're not gonna probably want to listen, but all I'm asking is, truth hurts and it stings, but it's better to take the hurt and sting that the truth provides now than the pain that'll be provided later because you chose to reject the truth. So I'm just asking you to humbly just listen, pray about it after you watched all the videos in regards to sororities and fraternities, and then take up to God. You don't have to tell me what you did. You can stay in it for all you want to. I'm not going to look down on you. I'm not going to frown my face. I'm just here to say what I have to say per the Lord. And y'all can take it or not, take it or leave it. That's up to you, and it's up to you and God. So I've done my part. I'm going to end this live. I'm going to come back on later tonight. About, let me see what time we get home. Up to probably about 9:45. About 9:45, I'm going to do, I'm going to try to do another live. It's a lot of videos, y'all. So I don't know if I'm going to do it live, but most likely I'm going to, if I can't do it live, I'm going to make the video and I'm going to drop it into my YouTube so that you guys can watch the second part. All right. Be blessed. Have a happy Tuesday. Getting ready to go pick up my lovely twin, and y'all, I'll check y'all later. All right. Bye. Peace.